I've been obsessed with Vietnamese food history and have gone down these rabbit holes looking at different origin stories. So together, let's dive into the history of my personal favorite Vietnamese noodle soup, Bún Riêu. Now, unlike some other more popular Vietnamese dishes that have been well documented in early imperial manuscripts or culinary texts, food historians haven't actually been able to identify a single origin point. And this is likely because Bún Riêu comes from the rural and poorer areas of northern Vietnam, where recipes weren't written down, and they were passed along solely through oral history, which is very typical for many popular peasant foods all over the world. Now, what we can infer though is that the first iteration of Bún Riêu comes from the Red River Delta, sometime before the 1500s, where there was an abundance of small paddy crabs, and the technique of grinding and pounding them down to extract their flavors to make the soup and the riêu is evident. But that version was probably very different from what we identify as Bún Riêu now, because tomatoes weren't introduced to Eurasia until the 16th century through the Columbian Exchange before slowly making its way into Vietnamese cuisine. Now, the adoption of tomatoes in Vietnamese dishes don't become visible until the 18th century, so sometime during that period, various chefs started to layer them into the soup, giving it the tomato base we now associate with Bún Riêu. By the late 19th and 20th century, as urban markets and street food culture in Hanoi expands throughout Vietnam, we start to see different regional variations of the dish, each one adapting to its own distinct climate and culture. Northern versions tend to be lighter, focusing more on the purity of the broth and the riêu, while southern variations are often richer, has more toppings, fresh herbs, and vegetables. And for me, that's the beauty of Bún Riêu, because beyond just its taste and appearance, it's a dish that has traveled through time and class, shaped by migration and adaptation of ingredients. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more Vietnamese origin stories, let me know in the comment section what dish I should do next.